The topic of this video is how do we compute price elasticity of demand?
And the math behind the economics is finding percentage changes.
Recall that price elasticity of demand tells us how responsive quantity demanded is to a change in price. And we define this by this equation here. The price elasticity of demand is equal to the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. And traditionally we say that if the absolute value of price elasticity is greater than 1, demand is elastic. If it's less than 1, demand is inelastic. And if it's equal to 1, demand is unit elastic. So say that we have the demand curve given here, and we want to know what the price elasticity of demand is between points Q1, P1 here and Q2, P2. So here we have the original price is $60, the original quantity is 100, the new price is $40, and the new quantity is 200. So what is the price elasticity of demand between these 2 points shown on the graph?
There are 2 things we want to talk about in order to be able to understand how to solve these kinds of questions. And the first is absolute value. So what is the absolute value? The absolute value is the non-negative value of something x, regardless of its sign. It can be thought of as measuring the distance between x and 0. So if I was on a number line, for example, and my 0 value is right here, and I had an x over here, I'm interested in how far it is. Or if I had an x over here, again, I'm only interested in how far it is, so it would be the positive value of x. So if this was -3, I don't care about that. I just care that its distance is 3. And if this was +3, I only am interested in the distance being 3. Here's some notation. We say the absolute value of x, we write x with straight bars over each side, and we mean the positive value of x. So I'll do a quick example here, which is, for example, the absolute value of -4 is 4, and the absolute value of 4 is also 4. So it's the positive value that comes out. The other thing we need to do is find percentage change. So we're going to want to be able to find the percentage change of some economic quantity from 1 year to the next, 1 decade to the next, or for high-speed trading, maybe from 1 millisecond to the next. What do we need in order to do this? We need a starting value we call V1, we need an ending value we call V2, and we need a time period from the start to the end of the measurement. And we take the following steps. We calculate the change in the value, that's V2 minus V1. The change is often denoted by a little triangle, the change in, or a delta. We calculate the change in the value and we divide it by the starting value. We take the absolute value, we rewrite it as a percentage, again, of the starting value, and then we can write a complete sentence. So here's an example. Let's find the percentage change in temperature from January to June in given the following information. The average high temperature during January in Iowa City is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. The average high temperature during June in Iowa City is 83 degrees Fahrenheit. So what do we need to do? We need to take step 1, find the change in V, which is V2, 83, minus V1, which is 32. V2 minus V1, 83 minus 32 is 51 degrees, so that's the change. The second thing we do is we take that 51 and we divide it by the original value, the initial value, 32 degrees. 51 divided by 32 is 1.59375. I use my calculator for that. Step 3 says rewrite it as a percentage, so I'd multiply by 100. I'd have 159, I guess I could say 0.37%. Step 4 is to take the absolute value. Well, the absolute value of 159.37 is just that value back again, 159.37%. And then step 5 was to write our answer as a complete sentence. So we would say that the change in temperature, the high temperature in Iowa City between January and June is 159.37%, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, let's answer the question about price elasticity of demand posed earlier. So recall that we want to know the price elasticity of demand between points Q1, P1 and point Q2, P2 on the graph. So remember that the formula is the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. So to find the percentage change in quantity, we take our change in quantity, which is from 100 to 200. So our change in quantity is 100 divided by the original quantity of 100 is equal to 1. Our percentage change in price is the change in price divided by the original price. Price falls from $60 to $40, so that's negative 20. And the original price is $60, so our percentage change in price is negative 1/3. So if we take the absolute value dividing 1 by negative 1/3, the absolute value of that would be 3. It would be negative 3, but the absolute value would be 3. So given that this is greater than 1, demand is elastic in this range. Okay, other times that we use percentage changes to compute elasticity in economics, if we want to look at the change in one variable, how that affects another one, we can look at price elasticity of supply, income elasticities, interest elasticities, and for example, wage elasticity of labor supply.
Now we've seen how to use the math behind the economics to compute price elasticity of demand. Thank you for listening.